Hello and welcome to another episode of the Instant Impact Event Show. I'm Cheryl Williams.
I'm CJ Williams.
Welcome,
Hi,
guys.
thanks for being here.
We're happy to have you here.
Yes.
We should cheers to another
day, beautiful day,
and
my
another
beautiful wife.
awesome show.
Yes,
We've got
correct.
great topics for you guys today.
That hurt.
You too?
Yes.
Yeah.
We can't lift our cups.
We are in this we're working out and working a lot of different muscles, but what we
Yes.
decided, and today we're going to talk about planning, right?
Yes.
And we have been planning out our days and weeks.
Yep.
And normally we have like rest days and things in between different circuits or different
Right.
bodies that were like sections of your body. Sometimes it's
Yes.
upper body, lower body, full body.
Yes.
And normally, we would have a routine for that.
Yes.
And we still have a routine for that, except we've stepped it up. So
Daily.
we're doing 75 hard right now. And so with that, it brings 2 workouts.
And we're doing a challenge also.
Yeah, so we're doing a lot of things, and one of the things we wanted to do this year is we wanted to just push ourselves in our fitness and push
Yes.
ourselves and just become the best versions of ourselves.
Yes.
And
We
so
already see changes.
yeah, and
It's getting there.
in order to do that, we had to plan out when we were getting all these workouts in. And so one of the things that we've noticed is, by doing a strength workout every day, man, there's always something
There's
that's sore.
always something. I didn't know I had certain muscles.
So I'm feeling things in places I haven't felt things before, especially like back and down and around.
Yeah. I
It's-
walk funny sometimes.
And so sometimes like just walking upstairs or, holding up a cup, and we've got to
Yes,
drink a lot
you're
of
gonna
water.
feel it.
So you feel
Gallon of water.
those muscles. So
Yes.
well, we're happy that you're here. And today's topic is,
Sunday is for planning.
yep.
Win the day.
And, the way that we always talk about, you got to keep score, right?
Yes.
How do you know if you're winning if you don't keep score? And the way that you do that is by setting yourself up for success through planning, right?
Yes. Just plan out your day.
Yeah, and I'm a planner.
your week.
I love to plan, right? If I could color code, I've got multiple color coded calendars.
Calendars,
We
yeah.
have,
Alerts.
It's great. And yet the same thing is true for your
Each day.
you need to plan out the day. And what we have found is the best thing to do is we sit down on Sundays and we get clear on what are we doing for this upcoming week. And we
Yes.
look at categories, not just business categories, right?
No.
We have to look at relational categories, like what are we doing together?
Right.
What are we doing as
Date day,
a
date
family?
night for the kids, with the kids.
What are we doing for ourselves? Like, how are we taking time to fill our cup? What are
Yes.
we doing, for our mindset and, to grow that muscle? Because just like, working out your body, you need to grow your mental
Yes.
muscle as well. And so how are you doing that, right?
We even have time for our meditation that we do every morning.
And visualization and
Yes.
that's key too, is like you've got to see where you're going, and when you can visualize, then it's like, oh, okay, that's where I want to go.
Right.
Well, let's plan out the week because we've broken it down, and these are the steps that we need to take to get us closer to where we're wanting to go. And
Correct.
so start carving out a little bit of time. It doesn't need to take hours, right?
No.
And the more that you do it, the more you're going to start getting into a routine of, okay, well, this week I'm doing this, and that worked for me. Or I'm going to do these
Right.
workouts. Or I'm going to, we're going to have these meals. Or, and that's the other thing we
And
love.
This is the time for the family.
Yeah.
Or a family movie. This
Or
this what we're going to have for dinner this week.
And that's the other thing. is
Schedule
planning out your meals.
Your meals helps a lot.
So you're
'cause
not-
that takes a lot of time.
You're not coming with it. What's for dinner? What are we having? What are we doing? Plan out your meals,
Do
your
we have
breakfast. Do you need to go to the store? Constantly running to the store takes up time. So if you can plan out
know what you're going to
your
have.
meals, make sure you have all those ingredients for that. It makes the week go
Right.
smoother, and you're not constantly having to go here and go there,
Right. And then
you
you
have more
time to even take out what you need for the next day. Even have it in the fridge.
And in your business, like where are you going? Where are you headed? Where are you wanting to take it?
Right.
And
What
how are
what
you going to
those
get there?
plans?
You've got to work on it consistently every single day. You need to
Right.
be figuring that out. And then what you do is, I love putting together the power list of the top 5 things
Right.
that are
That you're
moving
gonna do.
me in the direction I want to go. Right? They're actually they're moving the needle right in the direction
Yes.
that we're wanting it to go,
Right.
and then I can keep score. Like did I work
Did you
on all
win
of
the
those
day?
things today.
Yes.
Did I win the day? I did. Great. I'll give myself a W and I won. If
Right.
not, then I need to take it as a loss and figure out how am I going to do
Right.
this differently tomorrow so that I
Right, so it
can
doesn't
get a
happen
win.
again.
Because when you start stacking wins, then winners win. And so when you can see validation
Yes.
that, oh, I won yesterday and the
Day
day
before.
before. Okay, I won the majority of this
Yes.
week.
Yes, and you always get ahead that way.
And then you look back at the month. How many days did you win this month? And how many days did you not? And
Correct.
then, okay, we've got that average. So as long as you're winning more than you're losing, you're going to
Yep.
be going in the right direction. If you start seeing that you're not getting your
Yes,
things done,
start going backwards in your time and just not even looking at your list. Spending more time watching TV or doing other things. It's going to
or
affect
the
your week.
interruptions. Like there's a ton of things that come up on a daily basis that are
Yes.
interruptions that you have to stop. But it's like, okay, I'm going to be over here,
Mm-hmm.
and that takes you away from what you're focusing on. And so
Yes.
if an interruption, if interruption happens or arises,
Just get back on track.
then
as
it's
soon as
like
you can.
you have to start letting people around you know what to expect too. Like during this time and this time, I'm not available, right? That is
Yes.
your focus time to get your tasks done. Or between this time and this time, I am available. You can ask me questions. You can come by my office. You can give me a call. You can,
Yes.
I'll respond to emails. Like you have to start setting up the expectations for those that you work with your family, those that are around
everyone
you,
around you,
of
yes.
what are the boundaries? What are we working with so that they can
They'll
work
know.
within that with you as well. I mean, people, if you don't tell them, they don't know, right? And if they don't know it's a boundary, or you haven't set a boundary for yourself, and you
Yes.
let people walk all over you, or you go wherever the
And
wind
then you
blows,
get upset, but nobody actually knows that was your boundary.
Yeah.
Because you didn't set those boundaries.
And so this all comes back to, that old saying is, failing to plan is planning to fail. If you don't have a plan laid out, you're not going to get to where you're going. You're going to,
No.
you're going to get bombarded. You're going to get pushed off
get
course.
part of the way.
You're going to, just like does a plane set off to its destination without having the course, on it? No. And it does.
And it does go around
It
what's
weaves,
best.
but it knows the end result. So even if you get off track, you just course correct and get back on.
Right.
You know the end result. You know where you're going. And when you know where you're going, even if you get off track, it's easy to get back on. It's
Right.
easy to focus and get yourself back on there. And that's why I like, laying it out. What are the top 5 things I'm going to do today? I have a list of things I need to get done, right? But
Yes,
if they're
that's
not in
different
my
than what's in your top 5.
yeah. And if they're not in my top 5, then those are not on the top of my priority list.
No,
If they
those
happen,
for after.
okay, great. But these are the things I need to get done. Why? Because I decided the night before that these are the things I need to get done.
Yes,
and
not the day of.
And so planning out your week on Sunday, and then every evening before you go to bed, planning out what you're going to do
What
the
you
next
wanna
day.
do.
When are you working out? When are you reading? When are you meditating? When are you spending time with your family? When are
Yes.
you getting work things done? When are you all of these? And if you have it laid out, there's enough time in the day to get everything done and then some.
Then some.
As
Yes.
long as you prioritize those times and put it
Yes.
together so you're not just running haphazardly
Yes.
because the
you
day
have free time.
Yeah.
You'll have your free time once that list is done.
and the day is
no
attacking
matter how
you.
early it is.
Yeah.
You get to you relax, and then you can look forward to fix those other things that you wanted to get done.
And that is where, when you do have your tasks and you have you're laid out your power list for the day, and you have your top 5 things you're gonna be focusing on, when you get those done, you have a choice. You have an option. It's like, okay, am I done? Have I done everything I need to do?
Or you're gonna squeeze in a couple extra
are there
things.
some other things over here on my list that I could add on right now and get those done? And so that's where knowing and identifying what your priorities are in
Right.
that moment. Now, tomorrow it might change. Tomorrow you might need to focus on tomorrow's things. And I always have a running list because if it's in my head, I'm constantly
Gotta
thinking
write
about
it down.
If I get it down on paper or get it in one of my notes, then I know, okay, I'm not going to forget about that. It's not urgent right now. Now,
Right.
tomorrow or
Tomorrow's
next
a
week,
different story.
it might move to the top of the list because time and circumstances change everything, right?
Yes.
But right now, that's not my focus. Now, if I get time for that, awesome. So I always have a running, list of things,
Yep.
and then I can look at it and say, okay, any of these
map it
things
out.
need to be done tomorrow,
Or can it wait?
or it's at still a wait.
What's
right?
more important?
What is helping me get closer to where I want to go. in all areas and aspects, in your business, in your relationships, with yourself, with others. Like, you've got to start looking at, and you have to get clear. And that's why you have your big overall picture. And then you break it down into, quarterly, monthly, weekly, and then daily. And that's when you sit down on Sundays, you plan out your week. And then okay, well, this week I need to get these things done. So tomorrow I'm focusing on this. And then you can celebrate those wins because I got done what I need to get done today.
And it's a lot easier to do the hard things first.
Yeah. It's
And
like
it helps
worst
a
things
lot.
first,
Yep.
right? The harder, the more daunting it seems. Get that one done first. Cross it off. Then you've already created a win for yourself, and then you're ready to attack the rest. Versus putting it off and waiting, and then not having a lot of time left because it's towards the end of the day, or you don't really want to do it, and so then you figure out other things to do, and you're not really getting that thing done. If it's take on the big scary thing first, and then you'll figure out, it really wasn't that big and scary, right?
No.
I was making it bigger in my head, than what it really was. And that's true in life. I mean, most things, when you actually attack it head on and go into it and push into it, you figure out.
It'll change your mindset, and it'll be easier also for you.
It's kind of like, on Scooby-Doo. Like, the kids like Scooby-Doo. I used to watch it back in the day. They always had like that big scary monster or person or thing, right? But then when they actually figured out what it was, they took off the mask. It wasn't the big and scary thing, right?
No.
And so Ruh-roh, they were all over here, all scared and trepidatious and trembling. Oh my gosh, what is it? And then when you take off the big scary mask, it's this little thing over
Say
here.
that again.
What?
What was that?
Ruh-roh?
Ruh-roh.
Okay. Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay. Just checking.
So, that's don't let the scary thing stop you from getting what you want. Don't let it be an obstacle that stands in your way. Push past that, and once then you're looking back in here, and it's like, oh, you know what?
That was nothing.
I should have done that days ago, or maybe years ago, right?
And you'll feel better each day.
So the more momentum that you get, the more wins that you create, the more things that you're overcoming, just like anything else that starts getting momentum and traction, it becomes easier and easier and easier to do that. Not saying it's not going to be hard. It's saying that facing those challenges, those obstacles and roadblocks,
will make it easier each day as time goes on.
You start having confidence. You start having belief. You start knowing whatever comes my way, doesn't matter what it is, I'm attacking it. I'm moving through it and past it, and it's not going to stop me from getting what I want. And that's also why you have to have a big enough dream, a big enough picture, a big enough thing that you're going after, that these little things standing in your way are not going to stop you, because in order to get where you want to go, you have to get past this test right now. Right?
Correct.
Whatever thing is standing in your way, you've got to pass the test, right? And each time you pass the test, you get through it. Sometimes you might get knocked down on your butt. You learn the lesson, though, right? What's the lesson? Take the lesson and keep pushing forward.
Keep going.
Yeah. And so what we want you to do right now is we want you to figure out, where are you going? What are you doing?
What's the end
What do
result?
you want, right? Come up with the big picture and then start looking down and looking back at, okay, well, this is where I want to go.
So what are the steps you're going to take to get there?
What do I need to do?
How are you going to back up and do this in reverse?
And where are we saying by the end of the year you want to be here? By the middle of the year? Do you have 4 quarters to work on this? Do you have 3 months to work on it?
Yes.
Where you want, and then you can break it down into doable, bite-sized pieces
Month by
every
month,
single
week by
day.
week.
That makes it doable, so that you can create those wins and that momentum, and then you start seeing, oh wow, I can get a lot done.
A lot, yes.
Right? Even though it looks like a huge, mountain, and it looks, something I'm gonna have to climb. How am I gonna get up there? You start doing it, and then you start getting those reps in, and you start getting those wins, and you start getting that confidence. Like, no matter what comes my way, I'm doing it, right? So take some time right now and think about, what are you working towards? What are you wanting to do? What is the outcome and the end result that you want? And then you got to put together your backwards plan on how to get there, and then start setting aside time.
Right.
Every single weekend, every Sunday, that way you're
Do
ready
it
for the
in
week.
the morning's best, for at least for us.
Yeah.
In the morning, instead of waiting, because later on in the afternoon, you start hanging with family or doing other things, and then evening when dinner comes and stuff, and then you
It's a good tip.
want to do it.
Yeah.
And then after dinner and stuff, you get tired, then you're not going to want to have
And then you're not
time frame to do your list.
Yeah, and you're not really all there, and you're kind of half-assing it.
Do
it's
it in the morning.
Do it when you're fresh. Do it when you have time and you don't feel rushed, that you can actually give it the time that it needs and
Yes,
set yourself
'cause it's
up for
gonna need a lot of
success
time.
for the day, right?
Yes.
Carve out at least an hour, possibly 2, especially in the beginning when you're working on this, and plan
Yes.
it out. And then the more you do it, you don't have to set aside as much
Yes.
time because you're like,
Each
date night
time will
is
get
here.
smaller.
You know,
Each
family
time.
time is
Yep.
here. This is what I'm doing for my, myself in the morning. This is what I'm doing for my like you have it all laid out. These are the appointments that I'm going to do this week.
Yep.
And so you lay all these things out on Sunday, so then you have your week, and so it's not what am I doing today? You already
you
know.
already
And then
know.
each and every night you put together the next day and the
Yes.
next day and the next
Yep,
day,
for those wins.
and you start creating those wins.
Yes.
Alrighty, guys. Well, we appreciate you joining us for another episode, and we look forward
Thank you so
to
much for watching or
talking
listening.
to you again soon. And as always, if you have questions or comments, we love
Don't
hearing
hesitate
from
to
you.
reach out.
So reach out to us, and remember, it only takes an instant to make an impact. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.